Now this is fun. Yeah. I'll speak to you later, I think. Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video. Now this week, as you've probably just seen, I've come again to Langford Lowfields, which is just across the river from me. And really the only reason I've come here is, one, it's not underwater anymore, which it has been earlier in the year along with a lot of places along the Trent just here. And two, it's a really good place for doing some birdie and flight shots. So as most of you all know, if you've seen my last video, I've just got another A6400 and Sony and really wanted to do some more practice with birds in flight shots, so this seemed a good place to come and do that. So the weather's really changeable this afternoon. I think we've got heavy downpours potentially and thunderstorms, so yeah, it could be pretty eventful. So I'm going to take the walk now down onto the reserve. It's quite a way, and I'll catch up with you down there. Right, obviously that was a pretty interesting couple of minutes there, well, nearly an hour. Yeah, I got here and I know that they forecast that potentially we're going to have thunderstorms, and as soon as I got here it started thundering and lightning. Probably one of the things that might be useful to you actually is it's something that I've done for, oh god, loads of years now, but this here is just a ground sheet. It's quite a big one and I always carry one with me because they're useful for, you know, if you need to lie down flat, or if you need to take some shots, or if you need to make a bit of a hide. But obviously in wet weather you can just sling it over yourself and get yourself a bit of a shelter. Now what I also do is, because I've got quite a tall tripod, as you can see here, what I'll do is I'll sling it over the tall tripod and just get under, and it makes that like a little wigwam type effect, and you can get out the rain. So it's kept me really dry for the last sort of hour. We've had hailstones, we've had thunder, we've had lightning. It's been yeah, quite dramatic. I've not been able to take any shots, but at least it's kept me and my kit dry. So as I say, it's always a good idea to carry one of these ground sheets, because you can use them for numerous things really, and they can, you know, get you out of a bit of trouble. If I'd have been caught out here without that today, I would have been absolutely saturated. My gear would have been okay because I'd have put my cover on my bag and just, you know, stuck it all in there, but I would have been absolutely saturated and I'd probably gone back to the car. As you can see now, the weather is trying to improve, so we might get some nice evening light, which is what I'm looking for, to try and get some of these flight shots. Now this position I'm in here, actually it's not ideal for flight shots. The reason I've come here today is simply because it just affords me a little bit of shelter with inside these hawthorn bushes. The problem I've got with it is looking out onto the reserve, which is reeds. Basically it's a big reed bed with stretches of water in between. The The problem I've got is for flight shots is I don't see the birds till quite late. So if you can imagine, if my field of view from either side is like this, and I've got the camera pointed over here when a bird is around, I lift the camera up and pan, the bird's moving across straight away. So if I've got very little time to hit it before it's gone out of my field of view. Now if I've got a wider field of view, so if I've got like 180 degrees, I can actually shoot as the bird's approaching, and the bird's coming straight towards me in effect, so I'm not having to follow it to pan. It's actually, while it's at a distance, it's coming straight towards me, and then obviously then the camera has time to lock on, I can lock onto it, and then as it gets closer I can gradually pan round and take the shot. As I say, it makes it quite difficult here because you can't do that, but today it was just a case of getting here and getting under some cover really. The other thing it does as well is obviously it provides me a little bit of cover so that the birds aren't seeing me from a distance and then veering away. And if they see me quite late, the advantage is that they're probably not going to see me by the time they're flying through, and I can get that shot. So it's a little bit of swings and roundabouts really, but if you're starting to do birds in flight shots, what I would suggest is that you try and get as big a field of view as possible so that you can track that bird for a longer distance, give yourself and your camera a chance to get that shot, to lock on the autofocus and keep following it. And the other thing that I do, because this is quite, and I do this anyway, but because this is quite a tight, as I say, I haven't got a big field of view, what I will do is pre-focus at the distance that I know that the birds are going to come through at, so as much as I can. So here I'm sort of doing it on the edge of the far reeds there, and that just means then that when I lift the camera up to my eye, if the bird's in the viewfinder, I'll see it, and then I can just press the focus to just get that final little bit of focus. What you can happen is if you focused, say you've been doing some shots of stuff close up, a couple of 3 meters away, if you then try to do birds in flight and you've left the focus at that, when you lift the camera up to your eye, if the bird's 30 meters away, you're not even going to see the bird because it'll just be too blurred, and you'll press your shutter button halfway down to get focus, and it'll focus on something in the background. So what I'd also say to you, what I try and remember to do is when I lift the camera up, is not to immediately press the autofocus. Because it's likely, because I'm pre-focusing, I should see it in the viewfinder. So if I'm not seeing it in the viewfinder, especially in this situation where the bird's coming through quite fast, I could lift my camera up and then it's not there, press the autofocus and I'm focusing on the background, when in fact I'm not actually on the bird. I need to move forward or back a little bit, and then once I've got that semi-focus, then if I press the autofocus, it'll then lock onto that bird. So yeah, it's a bit trial and error, but they're one or two things that can help you. Anyway, as you can see, we've got a bit of sun now, so I'm going to get sat down and see if I can get some shots. Can't actually believe it, I just as the storm's finished and we've got this lovely beautiful golden light coming through now, there was a couple of cuckoos going off and I couldn't see them, and then literally I've had something fly across the front of the reeds here, managed to get a quick shot, and I know it's a cuckoo, and that's the first time I think I've ever taken an image of a cuckoo. Really chuffed with it actually. It was flying slightly away from me, that's the only thing really that I think would have made the image better. It looks quite nice on the back of the camera, so I'll have to see what it looks like when I get it back on the computer. But yeah, it's amazing really. After this storm, all of a sudden everything is now, I don't know whether you can actually hear it on the audio, but there's birds everywhere chirping away. So yeah, it must have been the hailstorm has invigorated them. I must admit I'm not going to even attempt the swallows and the martins that keep flying through. I just haven't got time to lock onto them either myself really, rather than the kit. I'm sure the kit would if I was quick enough, but they twist and turn so much and I'm not seeing them quick enough. So yeah, they're quite difficult, but yeah, I've just taken a picture of a Canada goose and I think a grey-lag goose that were flying across. That's probably one of my tips as well for flight shots, is if you want to, you know, if it's the first time that you're doing it and you're just learning, really start on something like swans or geese, because obviously they're much slower flying than the faster, smaller birds. So you know, just give you that confidence, and it gives you that little bit more time, especially if you're getting used to your kit or, you know, something like that. So yeah, they've taken a couple of pictures of those. The light's gone a little bit. I'm hoping it's not going to rain and it'll come back out again. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Oh, what's this? Hold on. Well, I'm just going to check that. I think I've just had a Marsh Harrier fly through, but just let me check this on the screen. Yeah, it's a Marsh Harrier. I'll put that image up now so that you can see it, but is that not the tattiest Marsh Harrier that you've ever seen? It looks, I don't know what's happened to its tail, it looks absolutely shredded. I understood that birds molted after the breeding season, and I assume they're breeding now, the Marsh Harriers, so you would think it'd be in tip-top condition. So I don't know quite what's happened to that one, but it's certainly looking slightly worse for wear. But yeah, a Marsh Harrier Cuckoo, yeah, doing pretty well today, really. Well, I think it's fair to say it's been quite a mixed bag today. I'll put some of the photos up that you haven't seen already at the end of this video. I've not just been doing flight shots, there's been other shots as well. I thought actually I'd got another Cuckoo flew across in front of me. That's a swan. I thought I'd got another Cuckoo flew across in front of me over the top of the reeds. It just looked like a Cuckoo to me, so I sort of followed it back. It was behind the reeds, so I couldn't get a shot, and I just sort of walked round the hedge of this hawthorn tree here, and there's a dead tree a bit further along, and I could see that this thing had landed in this tree. So I was able to just sneak round, and it's quite difficult actually, because the dead tree it's sort of where this thing had landed. The reeds were flashing across in front, so it was like an opening and closing window, if you like. They would, you know, I took loads of shots because a lot of them are just obscured by these reeds, and then occasionally the wind would blow and there'd be a gap in the reeds, and I think I've got a clear shot, but it's actually it's a Sparrowhawk. I wondered why it was so amenable to me standing there and taking some shots. It obviously, well, I'm pretty sure it knew I was there, even though I was sort of quite quiet getting round, but yeah, I think I've got a reasonable shot of that as well. So yeah, it's been fantastic today. I'm not normally one for sitting in one place. I normally like to sort of move around quite a bit, but yeah, this has been quite productive today. I've quite enjoyed it, even, you know, after the rain. So I've just heard some more thunder. I'm gonna see what happens in the next sort of hour or so, and then probably head off out, but I'll catch up with you later. So fast. I'm not going to talk too much right now. I've got a couple of hobbies in front of me. I can't believe it. It seems to be because all the insects have come out after this thunderstorm and the hot weather. Oh God, they're so quick. Just keep pre-focusing. There's another one. They're just really just hammering in front of me. Oh, unbelievable. So bloody fast. I suppose the moral of this story has to be that everybody else has gone. It's nearly 5 o'clock, and because of that thunderstorm, literally you could see everybody going. They've all headed for the cars, and because of my humble ground sheet here, I was able to stay under cover, and now I've got hobbies just hunting in front of me. Absolutely fantastic. Right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've certainly enjoyed making it this week. Oh my god, it's been a trial. Every time I've tried to go out, it's thrown it down with rain. And then today I just thought, do you know what, sod it, I'm just going to go and do it. And I bought my ground sheet. Thank god I did. As I say, everybody else has gone, and I've just had a wonderful 10 minutes with 2 hobbies just hunting in front of me over these reeds. I think I've got a couple of half decent shots. I normally shoot at 2,000ths of a second for birds in flight. That's what I have been doing, but I've actually taken it up to 2,500 for the hobbies because they were just so quick. Basically, yeah, just like swallows and swifts, only 10 times as big. But I'm going to stick around a little bit longer to see if we get anything else. But yeah, that's made my day. It really has. It's really vindicated coming out today and bringing that ground sheet just so that I could stay on while, you know, it chucked it down with rain. And yeah, I suppose I've got the reward for that. So really, really pleased. But I suppose you could class that as having a pretty good day. I'm just packing up. I'm just about to fold my ground sheet up because I can hear the thunder coming again. And you know, I told you about this little dead tree that's coming out of the water round the corner from me. I just happened to sort of glance around thinking, oh, you know, that'd be a perfect place for one of them hobbies to go and land. And there's a hobby on there, and I managed to grab a couple of quick shots before it flew off. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, you can see, whether you can see, we've got the old midges out now, so I'm probably going to get bit to death, but that was so worth it. I couldn't believe that. Again, I think they've gone again, so I'm just going to keep my eye out for a little bit longer now. It's one of those situations where probably the best light's gone. I think I've got a couple of images that I'm happy with. I'm ecstatic with, actually. The best hobby pictures I've ever taken. I've not taken loads of pictures of hobbies in the past. In fact, the only place I've actually seen them and photographed them before is up here, probably about 8 or 9 years ago now. So yeah, all of a sudden after that storm came through, and then the heat and the sun, and obviously all these midges are out now, there's thousands of them, and they were just flying across here like mad, hunting, so it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that sounds like it's quite a long way off in the distance now, hopefully, so I'm going to stick around a bit longer. I just can't bear to leave now, just in case they come back. And I've set up actually so I can see this tree round the corner now, so if they do happen to land, I'm just sort of poking round a hawthorn bush. So yeah, if they do happen to land on there again, I should get another shot, but if I've not, I think I've done really well today. Right, that's me done for today. Any of the images that I haven't put up yet, I'll stick up at the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it the usual thumbs up, and also if you've not subscribed to the channel, then please think about subscribing. It really does help. Sorry if I'm a bit distracted. I'm just keeping my eye out for those hobbies as I record this bit, just in case. I'm a little bit nervous now in case they come back. So yeah, if you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you next week for another video, and take care until then.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors forever free.